Hello. Am I live? Chat's just loading. Ah, yes. Bonjour, mes amis. It is me, Johnny. Sash has been. Sash is learning French on Duolingo at the moment. And to help him do so, we've been watching Gravity Falls in French with English subtitles. And what that has done is it has made me feel like I can speak French. I cannot speak French, but my brain keeps trying to speak French. It's a strange one. Anyway, also I am aware that the Go Live notification still says pray. I'm not entirely sure why. I'm trying to figure out. Basically, I was trying to figure out how to change it on Streamlabs because it's dead easy to change on OBS. We changed from OBS to Streamlabs midway through Prey because OBS kept crashing, and unfortunately, wherever it's buried in the Streamlabs lab settings, I wasn't able to hunt down in time, and I was like, it's taken too long. I'm gonna have to just go live. So here we are. Sorry, I will probably get it changed on the actual. I'll actually go into Twitch, like the actual website Twitch. Yuck, and change it there. Anyway, hello everyone. It's Johnny, your friend and mine, and we are playing once again the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. This is our third stream doing it. We've seen a bunch of weird endings, and I'm sure we'll see yet more. We are, I think, coming to the point in our playthrough where we're going to be repeating a lot of beats to see if we can get different endings, because I think we've seen most of the routes that are obvious. So a lot of this is going to be like, oh, let's try doing this route with the bucket. Let's try doing this route without the bucket. Because the bucket seems to give you some... The bucket seems to change. A lot of stuff that I expected when I did a route, because I've played the original Stanley Parable years back. So there's quite a lot of stuff where I was like, oh, it'll go like this. But I was like holding the bucket and it went very differently. So I suspect the bucket, our beloved bucket, is a thing that changes stuff. Anyway, time to enter the current time. It's 8. Is it 8? Sash, is it 8:10?
It's 8:09.
8:09. Confirm. Oh no! Oh, balls! I remember last time it asked me to put in my favourite time of day, not the actual time of day. Well, you know what, 8:09, it's actually a pretty good time of day. A lot of good stuff happens at 8:09. Sometimes I'm having a tasty dinner. Often I've just had a tasty dinner and I'm getting on with my evening, which is generally quite a nice thing. So you know what? I'm okay with 8:09, but it's before you're in danger of getting too tired. And you don't need to worry about beds not approaching imminently. You look at your watch and you see 8:09, you have the whole evening ahead of you, and that's a good feeling. If you're out, you're not out too early. It's not 6:30. I just about to get started. You're like, oh no, we're well into the night out, but we're not in. The end is not even remotely in sight. So I think, yeah, you know what? I'm sticking by it. 8:09, my favourite time of day. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay. No need to crawl. The two things can be happening. Two things can be happening here. Stanley Parable Deluxe Edition. I mean, it's satisfying. Oh, okay. It's very accurate. It's very accurate. Aww. Yeah, me too, mate. Yeah, broadly speaking correctly, but I'm not a stickler for it. Oh dear. Hmm. Hmm. Not sure how psyched I am to have my data collected by the Stanley Parable. Hmm. Okay, well that's reassuring. There's only so many axes. Oh, perhaps, but I.
Axes.
Hmm. Okay. Good. Excited to discover those new sliders. Uh, we've had a Between Streams Kofi from TR. Hello, everyone. I got to play the new version of the Slay the Princess demo, and it's great to see the new artwork and voice work everyone has worked on. Johnny, your voice acting is phenomenal. Oh, I was wondering if you had a favourite voice to do in the game. Happy Friday. I mean, unsurprisingly, my favourite voice to do was the Smitten because I was just doing a ridiculous Matt Berry impression. I also quite liked the voice of the Skeptic because that let me channel some of my like film noir bullshit, which was a lot of fun. And the narrator itself is quite a satisfying little storybook voice. So yes, if you enjoy these streams, if you want to support them and help them continue, please do subscribe, cheer, and donate at kofi.com/Johnny and Sasha. We have today, and everyone needs to be on their best behaviour because we only have the one mod today, Ath. Everyone else is unfortunately not available. So if you want, Ath is doing an amazing job. And if you want to make sure, because everything we make, all the Ko-fis, all the subscriptions, they are shared between us and the mods. So if you want to make sure that the Ath is compensated as they deserve to be, please do drop us some Ko-fis. Oh yeah, another one. Ko-fi from Robin Huckneysuckle. Hi, excited for the stream. Not sure if you remember, but I mentioned last stream I'm doing my illustration bachelor's thesis about TMA, and it's coming along very well. Always happy to chill out with these streams after working on it all day. Hope you and Sasha and mods are well. Yeah, we're getting through, and that sounds great. I hope it's really nice to hear it's coming together so well. And from Tika. I learned to sing the Siren song from Elden Ring, and a cute girl said I sounded like an angel. I have been discouraged from singing a lot in the past, but I love it and I want to get better at it. Any tips for a shy beginner? I'll be honest. My vocal journey was very much, I was in my church choir between the ages of 8 and 18. And then from the ages of 20 through 30, I destroyed that voice by drinking, smoking, and yelling my head off on stage. So I'm not sure what advice.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes I would come out of hearing you with my throat sore in sympathy for the way you were just shredding your vocal cords.
Yeah. And to be fair, a lot of the songs that sounded the most intense, actually there are specific ways you can sing to avoid messing your voice up. But some of the ones that didn't necessarily sound the most vocally shredding kind of were. And obviously some of the ones that sounded very vocally shredding were quite. So I don't know how much good advice I can really give you on getting started. Sing what you like, find your range. If you're really serious about it, look into getting a singing teacher. There are lots of good ones out there, and it is a skill like any other. And so
getting a singing teacher can really teach you to look after your voice.
Yeah, and so while it is possible to get very good at it without any tuition, the same way you can get very good at the piano without a piano teacher, but you're going to get better quicker and with a teacher, and you'll also you'll also learn stuff that you would never just sort of learn just doing it yourself. But that said, if as whomst among us has the money for just a casual singing teacher just for fun.
I had one for a little while.
Yeah, you did.
When we were working working 2 jobs when we had our day jobs and these.
Yeah,
jobs.
the
small golden period. I say golden money wise, not golden any.
The year and a half where we had disposable income.
The year and a half where we had disposable income. I got a singing teacher because I had picked up a lot of like quite bad habits from singing without a microphone on a lot of stages, and I'd picked up some bad projection habits. So when we started streaming, after every stream, my voice was wrecked. Like my throat was so sore. So I got a singing teacher for a little while. I just had a few lessons to, and it was mostly just to learn to project my voice without hurting myself. And but it was really fun. Also, I'd just pick a song and I'd be like, today I want to work on singing Wuthering Heights by Kate Bush, and that's what we did, and it was so much fun.
So like, if that's an option, recommended. If not, just go for it. You know, just find what you like to sing, find the range you're comfortable singing, and you know, the biggest difficulty in singing is killing your embarrassment, which is not something I've particularly ever been able to do. Like, I can sing my head off in very specific contexts, but outside of that, no, never been able to quite get over that core embarrassment. Anyway, let's start le Parable de le Stanley Parable 2. It's not actually Stanley Parable 2, it just thinks it is, sort of claims it is. It was, you'd need to watch last week's, it's fine. Right.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
What?
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Good Lord.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say
we picked
hi.
those.
Never in
balloons.
all his years at the company had
an
this
anonymous
happened.
gift, a gifted
This
Tinasaur, a
complete
tier 1 sub.
isolation.
Thank you.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps he had. Bucket or no bucket? Let's start with a no bucket run. Let's unbucket ourselves. Just trying various doors. You know how it is.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's ignore him for now.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire
Oh, the
it.
teens are really into chess. Yeah, I've heard that. Probs Not Hawkeye subscribed to tier 1. They've been subscribed for 30 months. Probs Not Hawkeye, howdy chat. This is many months. It is many months. Some people might say too many months, but those people are incorrect. It is the exact correct number of months. Wait, no, it's continuing. It is continuing to be the correct number of
truly
months.
a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
It's a pretty nice break room.
Stanley simply
Like,
stood here, drinking it all in.
he's very dismissive. He's a bit sarcastic, I think, is the narrator about the break room. But actually, there's a lot of unused open space in the middle.
Really worth it being here in the room.
It is a really nice room.
So utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Oh wow, May the Force be with Youps is giving 5 subs. Thank you. That's a total of 28 in the channel. That's wonderful. Thank you.
At this point,
Right.
Stanley's obsession with this
Yeah,
room
okay, I'm
bordered
about
on
to go.
creepy
I
and
was
reflected
reading the
poorly on his
messages.
overall personality.
Oh wow.
It's
Okay.
possible that this is why everyone left.
Wow. Uffit, Kofi specifically and only for Ath. That's wonderful. Thank you. Right. Okay. Let's
But
go.
at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I think last time we took this, we had the buckets. Let's see Sans bucket.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Okay. Let's go left
Oh,
then.
no.
Oh,
No, it's
oh.
to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I can't make that decision for you, I'm afraid.
Let's see,
Oh,
we went down,
Need for
right,
Q,
left,
Q Sunshine is
down,
gifting 1 tier 1 sub
left,
to Johnny Wessex
right.
community. It's their first
Yep,
gift sub of the
okay,
channel.
okay,
Thank
yes.
you and welcome.
I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. Right. This doesn't look like the way to the story, but I'm going to be real. This doesn't look like the way to the story. Oh no, it is sort of. But
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
okay.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Employee pirate was that? I'm sure one of those things said pirate.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There we go.
When Stanley... Wait.
Oh, hello.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley...
Ufford is gifting
did you
1 tier
change
1
anything
sub
when
to
we were
Johnny
back in
Wastecoat's
that room
community.
with
They've
all the
gifted a total of
monitors? Did you
54 in the
move
channel.
the story
Thank you.
somewhere, or... Hold on.
Yeah, I don't.
Why am I asking
Yeah,
you?
I
I'm the one who
don't
wrote
have
the
the power.
story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Let's try it here. Let's go this way. What about around here? Story. Is the story around here? It's No, this doesn't look like the story. Wait, was that a loop I did? I feel like I've done a big loop. No. Okay. Right, I am, however, quite lost.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Oh, I'm sure
Well,
it's
I find
fine.
it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's go. Oh, really? Oh, no. Oh, come on.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
All right.
Aha! I knew.
Yeah,
we'd
here
miss
we are.
something.
Here's the story, probably.
Here it comes.
Wait, no, this is a
No,
loot,
wait,
mate.
never mind. Not the story.
No, it's a,
Okay, let's head back the other
It's a
way
dead end.
and retrace our steps.
yeah, this doesn't look right.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I
think
can't
this is
quite
Resident
recall,
Evil
but
7.
I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
I mean, it was.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Hey!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of
win!
I
hard work,
won!
and it really paid off. So, good job.
Feels
Oh,
good.
No,
What
I
are you
don't
talking
feel
about? Yeah,
right
it feels
this at all.
fine.
We
Feels
both know
good.
You didn't put in any actual work
Oh,
for that win.
no
Some
actual
people
work.
win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Fine. An anonymous gifter is gifting 5 tier 1 subs to Johnny Waistcoat's community, including one for Ath, which is the important thing. Thank you, Anonymous. And oh, hello. The Stanley Parable 2 Adventure Line. Glitch Pigeon is gifting 1 tier 1 sub. It's their first gift sub to the community. Thank you so much. The Rain's End is gifting 1 tier 1 sub to the community. It's their first gift sub. And Karen I think it's Karen cheered with 519 bits. Rainbow flag bits, no less. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay,
All right, I've got a solution.
Okay, good,
this
good.
time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Yes.
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
The line TM. Let's go. Following that line. Oh, hang on. This line's going somewhere completely new. Oh, no wonder we didn't find the
You
story.
see,
If this is how
the
it
line
is.
knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the
Hard to
act of
say.
moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being
Oh,
via
can't
the
get
very
over the chair. I'm just
manifestation
gonna
of the
have to-
nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yeah! Adventure music. Oh wow, that's a lot of peer reviews for me.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Which fan?
Stanley, this fern will be very
No,
important
it won't.
later in the
What
story.
are you talking about?
Make sure you study it closely and
That's
remember
just
it
not true.
carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Yeah, okay, that's... Okay, fine. Can I have the music back? The music was good.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh,
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
here we go again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ooh, yeah, let's go this direction.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just
I'm
me and
excited.
Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
We seem to be
Whatever
going
it might be,
loops.
Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I don't really...
Oh,
hello.
no, not you
Oh,
again.
the line.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Just don't acknowledge it to TM. Just ignore it. Yeah, there it goes. Sod off, you damn line. Oh,
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
yeah.
From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds
go the other
with
way.
that counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh,
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how
find an
it always
identity.
goes? It's all determined?
Simply black space, wander
So
in the
now,
blackness,
according
find a
to the schedule,
bookstore.
I restart again. Then what? Am I
After
just
a
supposed
long
to
time,
forget?
Stanley
What
dies.
if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't
Find the
I get to
confusing ending
decide?
schedule.
Why don't
Forget
I
the
get a say in all of this? Is it
That's where
really?
the story was presented, and I wouldn't
No,
go
it
anywhere.
can't be.
Game
I don't
restarts on
want it
its
to be.
own.
I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this.
Wow,
I
this is a
won't
lot.
restart the
Yeah.
game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know,
Just doing
I
some
suppose in
squats.
some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
This does feel like
I
the
hope
destination,
That's where we
though.
are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Okay. I have no idea if we are still in the confusion ending or not. But let us continue on the assumption that we are not. Oh, actually, I know how we can tell. If the bucket's
All
there,
of his co-workers were gone. What
we'll
could it mean?
know that it's a restart.
Stanley
The bucket
decided
is
to go
here.
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket or no bucket? That's the question. You know... Ooh. You know what we haven't done? We haven't done going
Stanley
down...
picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So, the first time we played, we went down the stairs instead of up. And that ended up... oh yeah, them figurines need to figure out somewhere with both red and blue. Interesting. But that was before we had the bucket, and we went mad.
Coming
and
to a
died.
staircase, Stanley
So
and the
let's
bucket
try
walked
going
upstairs
downstairs.
to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am
I'm not,
crazy.
because I have the
He
bucket.
looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Well, maybe the bucket
That's
does think I'm
strange,
crazy.
Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and
no.
comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday
What?
bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did
Got
I
the
end up
wrong
with someone
bucket.
else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong.
But it
Surely
says
no
property
good
of
would come from
Stanley.
this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh,
no.
gracious, he exclaimed.
Oh, no.
Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from
What?
room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None
Too
of
many
them were
buckets.
his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
What?
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
Oh,
But
no.
on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
I tried.
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought,
How
and she
cruel.
hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
The Rain's End. Kofi. Hello, everyone. It's little moments like us contributing or cheering for the hype train that makes me remember how much I love this community all of us have created together. I hope everyone has an absolutely lovely weekend. I hope you have a lovely weekend as well. And yes, it is a wonderful community. Created by all of you and our wonderful mods, especially Ath at the moment. Thank you again. Kofi from Lotus Flare. Hello all, my good news is that my article about the history of the Necronomicon and skin-bound books went live this week. It was as fun to research as it was to write. Also, happy Trans Day of Visibility. I love you and I see you. Trans rights, y'all. Trans rights. And that sounds like an amazing article. I love a good skin-bound book. There are a surprising number in history, but not as many as you might think. I think there's a library somewhere that's collected as quite a lot of them. It's a very interesting subject, at least. Kofi from Probs Not Hawkeye. Howdy, today is payday. It's the perfect kind of rainy, and I'm going to my first ever Comic-Con tomorrow. Coins for Johnny and Sasha and the beloved mods are the perfect way to kick off the weekend ahead. Oh, here's an article link. Thank you, Ath. I'll definitely read that later. That sounds really cool. And Son of Fiction subscribed Tier 1 for 3 months in advance. That's wonderful, thank you. So, where next?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I'll
Perhaps
avoid
he
the
had simply
bucket
missed a
this time,
memo.
I think.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Right, I'm going to try
Wow.
going on that.
Yes.
There was a
this
catwalk in
What but eager to
the
get back to business,
big
Stanley took the first open door on his
in the
left.
big package room a while back, and it ended
Stanley
to
was so
me
bad at following directions.
jumping
it's
off
incredible
things
he
a lot
wasn't
after
5
going
years
to a weird
ago.
space place. But I think there might be more to find.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really?
Yeah.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you.
Ooh.
To show you something beautiful.
No buckets past this
Let me
point.
prove
Interesting.
it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully. This is important. Stanley
Hey!
walked through the red door. And there it is.
Yeah!
The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Oh, I hate
Savor
that.
this moment, Stanley. This is a real
6 out of
accomplishment.
6.
This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I
Yeah.
would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Just wandering, really. Right. Let's go to the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
I see. Last time we did go through the red door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see?
Oh, hello.
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version.
Oh,
Would you say
5.
that the game benefited from allowing you more choices?
Definitely 5.
Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical
Actually, you know
feedback
what?
here.
No, I feel like...
You're not rating 5?
No, I think a 3.
Do not rate this game a 3.
Well, no, this is for the new... Okay, fine.
Aha!
It's for the
You
what?
see,
Not
I
for the-
knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from?
It's for this
How
specific
did I know the game needed a
path.
third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh. Oh, worldwide leaderboard. Nice. Good old Neil is offline. Skid, Nicho Nacho, Vola, Hogarth, Mr. Hayes Esquire, Awesome at Goldenrod. Oh. Only the worst three. Oh, wow. Okay. 98.9% of players are more attractive than Stanley. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's dreadful. Friends list empty. Fine.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay.
In this game, the baby
what?
crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Wait.
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
You do actually get an achievement if you play this for 4 hours. If you play it for like an hour, you get an extra danger that's a dog that you need to keep from doing something. But what? Oh yeah. This is awful. The sounds are you can't hear the sounds, Sash. Do you wanna come over and hear the sounds?
Oh no! Oh no!
The horrible is when I press the
This
button.
is the worst.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm gonna let the baby die in the fire now. Because while I would love to stream this for 4 hours, I'm not going to do that.
Oh dear.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Oh,
Aha!
it's
Fascinating.
Firewatch.
What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
The music's lovely. But then again, I suppose that is the music of Firewatch.
Oh, no. No, it can't be.
Can't be what?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off.
What do you mean? What?
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Yeah, thank
We're out
heavens.
of the woods now, Stanley.
Well, I mean, not
Okay,
literally.
I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Well, Kofi from Spiraling Shape. Hello. Oh, what the hell is this?
Wonderful. See,
What is
this
this
is
game?
exactly what I had in
Oh,
mind.
fuck, it's
Just
Rocket
a nice
Cars.
big box for you to run
It's
around.
Rocket League.
There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage
This
to
is
get
where
lost
you
in
play
this
football
game,
with
I will be
cars.
phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's
I
see.
think I'm about to get
There
run
are
over.
lots of cars here in the back, but
by-
obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
It's pretty big. Kofi from Spiraling Shape. Hello all. I haven't been in the stream for a while, but when I heard that Johnny was playing one of my favourite games of all time, I knew I had to come back. Hope you're loving it too. I'm having a really good time with it. Come on.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
Yeah, it's probably
Is it
fun.
better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard
I
on?
mean, it's quite
Stanley, I
fun.
have
It
a
is quite
thought.
fun, actually.
And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to try it out.
Yeah.
Here comes another ball.
Come on. I'm trying to... Hang on.
Yes.
Hang on, narrator.
Oh,
I'm
goodness,
trying
that
to...
really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
It's fine. I'm just want to get one of them in the goal. Yeah.
Is that Rocket Ball?
Yeah, Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Oh shit! What have I done? Oh, that wasn't intentional. Sorry, mate.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh. Falling again. Oh, hello. Wonder where this is. Oh, there's a light there. Oh, TVs. Where are we going? Oh, it's my office. Sort of. Huh. Interesting.
Oh, there's something.
Okay.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay. What do we think this time? Bucket or no buckets? Oh,
Stanley, I'm
what?
sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire
It was all
life?
right, yeah.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Yeah.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
When Stanley found the collectibles.
Here's where it all began. The
Yes.
first collectible.
That was all right.
Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it
But
said
we
6
did,
right
'cause,
there on
I
the
mean,
screen.
yeah.
But how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
What have I done? Ah, the
And
executive
here
bathroom.
was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone
wow.
6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
I think it was the boss's office.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we
What?
found a Figley in this pink room.
No, we didn't.
Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember
is-
being in this room, but
what
it's
is this
here in
room?
the memory zone, so it must have happened.
This is weird. I don't like this room.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, narrator is best boy.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Ah, yes, the last.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other, except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like. And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Sweet boy.
Bye, Memory Zone. I love you.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Not looking forward to going back to that big pink room, though. That was weird. Oh, I can't get up there.
And here's where I made that video.
Oh, yeah, I remember the video. Yeah.
Yes, I love that video.
It's a good video.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Let's try getting the one from under the stairs. Oh no, that's dead end. Into the bathroom.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all.
Did you get stuck on the top of the door?
Collectibles. The jump circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on.
More jumps
I remember
on.
hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more memories. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember.
I
can
hate
remember.
Mondays.
I can remember.
Oh, something before the office?
Yes,
Interesting.
I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion,
Aw,
even
thanks,
if he
mate.
was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
No bucket this time, I think. You know what? No, I'll get the bucket and I'm just going to do a full run through.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Is this your bucket now?
This is my bucket.
Because it was not your bucket.
Stepping into
Yes,
his
my
manager's
bucket.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours,
it?
did the bucket's
245
warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Absolutely.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
All right.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
There we go.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone
up there,
in the
it
office
says
was being
pirate.
videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it
Pirate.
that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Very good
These
question.
questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
Time to
over
leave with
another
my
human life.
bucket.
For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends,
Yeah.
Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way.
Yeah, we did.
And the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Bucket. Is it?
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to
Classic
sneeze
bucket.
in every country on Earth.
Yeah.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse
Okay,
from
that's
the
a bit
end.
weird.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What?
happening?
Wait, what was happening? Why had the door stopped?
I don't know.
Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the
this is
truth hit
nervous.
Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Oh no!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming
no!
presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, He was about to find out.
Goodness. Can't believe the bucket won't learn to roller skate.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally.
Oh, what?
This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Feel a bit bereft now.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Apparently, I think there's an ending you can get if you...
Staring in...
Aha! Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Oh, a Kofi from Toys R Us. Finally, some good news to report. Today is my birthday, and last week my family adopted a 7-month-old kitten. Anyway, happy to put this in the pirate pile, and thank you to Athana for modding. That is really lovely to hear. I hope you have a wonderful time with your kitten. Oh, let's see. It's going backwards, it seems, but that's okay. It's actually a bit spooky without the narrator. I'm not going to pick up my bucket just yet. Oh, hello. Oh, yeah, I thought I have. What? You are now leaving. Okay.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Escape pod bay. Floor 760. Alright, let's go. Unless there's something else this way. No, this is just a door. $7.55. $7.56. I'm coming for you, escape pods. $7.57. $7.58. $7.59. Oh yes, escape pod launch bay. Okay. Oh, I think that's it. That must be it. That must be the escape pod. Oh, that was weird. Well, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Gonna go... Hey, you remember when we unplugged that phone? I'm gonna go answer it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
What?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Can I? Trying to pick up the phone. Oh, there we are.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? Who want to
for a
commit their
moment.
life to you?
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh, no. What?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Uh-oh. What if I don't want to press R? Okay, I don't think it's going to give me a choice.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild
I don't know if
expeditions into the unknown.
A yellow line through the
Fantastic
office
discoveries of new lands.
is necessarily
It was wonderful.
a wild
And each
adventure.
day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would
This
ever
is
happen to
standards
him.
over here.
Oh, I can watch TV.
And so he began to
Oh, what?
fantasize about his own job. First, he
the
imagined
TV
that
go?
one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Yeah, let's spend time with the
So
boys.
he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be?
There must
Perhaps
be.
if he played just one more time.
Oh, hey, I love you.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
I had to press
In
V.
reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I know that is not like it's gonna just stay there until I do. So I don't think there's actually any actual choice here. But well. Anyway, if you're enjoying this stream, and would like more streams like this, and you want to reward us and the mods who create such a wonderful community, please do subscribe, please do cheer, and donate at kofi.com/Johnny and Sasha. It's all put in a big pile and divided between us and the mods evenly. So if you're enjoying this, if you're having a good time, because I'm having a good time with you, then kick us a few quid. Cheers. All right.
You see? Can he just not
Yeah,
hear
I can
me?
hear you, mate.
How can
You
I tell
just
him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
don't
How
think
can I
that's
get him to
true.
see what I see? How can I
Oh,
make
Baby
him
Carrot
look at
42
himself?
subscribed with Prime. Thank you. Press P to question nothing.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Oh, no.
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Oh, no, I was saying, oh, no, because the something weird happened on the Stanley Parable. That's all right. How are your Black Suns?
Oh, they're okay, but some of them.
These are Black Sun enforcers for Star Wars Legion.
I have to do
Sasha's
their trim,
painting it.
and some of them have got their guns like this.
Oh, no.
And I'm trying to do their chest trim, but I'm getting the gold paint all over their faces.
Oh, no.
And not in the bits of their faces where they're supposed to be gold.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
That's
could it
not what you
mean?
want.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's try going to that no buckets place with the bucket.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yeah. The bucket
and here
knows.
it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind.
What?
The
That is
bucket
not
was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
Maybe I'm... No,
he
this
was
is...
firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him.
Okay, no, I'm
and
following
he
the bucket. I'm doing what the
unthinkingly
bucket...
did whatever the bucket asked.
Oh, that's nice. You guys are always doing what you want to do.
Yeah,
That's
let's
nice.
do what the bucket wants.
Just to change that
In
dynamic
here,
of
said the
friendship.
bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone,
Said the bucket.
Pick up the
Okay.
phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Yeah, alright, let's do this again, but with the bucket.
This is the sad story of a man
What?
named Stanley and his bucket.
What do you mean?
Once
Sad
upon a
story.
time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
You were
And
right.
then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
The beige pages. It's quite a tasteful little apartment, actually. Jazz music. I don't know. Smile. I need a hug. That's what that. Sunset magazine. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press G to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press N to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate
Wait, where
metal
is it?
object? I
Where's
want
my
to say
bucket?
something to him, but I don't know how
Where's
I
my
can
bucket?
convince him. I don't
Where's
know
my
if
damn
he'll
bucket?
listen
Oh,
to
okay.
me.
Thank goodness. Press J to go back to work.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me?
Yes,
Listen
but
to
I'm
me.
with my bucket.
It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk.
That's
All
pretty
it would
rude.
ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
very-
That's it. It doesn't
very
do
rude.
anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press N for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is
Toys
this
like a
awful
new kitten.
bucket.
Her name
This
is
stupid hunk of
Starlight.
metal.
She's beautiful. Yes. Press Z to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Z bucket.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket.
It's a very shiny
Well, I'll give it
bucket.
this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press J to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Oh, may the force be with you. Subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 35 months. Currently on a 35-month streak. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Press G to relive this same day with me. Over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Aw, Monique, Kofi, thank you for sharing your hard work and creativity with us. Well, thank you for watching. That's really lovely. Thank you. Press U to go home to work to home to work to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand.
It's time for a
Perhaps
sensuous
if I had the
evening
bucket,
I
this
was
would
with
be
my
right when I
bucket.
said press off to get a room.
The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
What?
Give it
No,
to
it's
me.
my
Give
bucket.
me the bucket, Stanley.
I was about to fuck
need
it. I was about to have
Give it
sex
me
with this
now.
bucket.
Give it, or I'll-
No. Go back to work, Stanley. That was weird. Stupid jealous narrator, not letting me have sex with my own bucket.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Bucket again. This
Good
time we'll
bucket.
take it.
A strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket,
Poor
a bucket
App
of
is
culture
modding
and
alone
distinction.
today.
Oh God, I'm so
Stanley
sorry, Ash.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was
You're
not
quite
the
right.
way to
I'm
the meeting
so
room.
sorry. Poor
But
App
Stanley had
modding
felt
on
the bucket
their
calling
own,
to him,
and
telling him
here I
that the
am
employee
talking about.
lounge was
To
simply
be fair,
a
it's not
place
my
to
fault.
be.
It's not
And
my
here
fault.
it
The bucket
was.
tried
Had
to
the
seduce
bucket turned
me.
out to be correct? Was no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
That's
I suppose that would explain
nonsense.
a lot about your
That's
behavior
not-
up to this
I
point.
know-
which,
I know what
if
a
that's
bucket is
true,
and what isn't
well,
a-
my
that's
goodness,
ridiculous.
I think we have to do something
That's,
about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of
No,
the
I.
game, if
It's
not
fine. I
addressed
know, I
quickly
know,
and
I know what a
properly.
bucket is.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. What's going on? Hey!
I'm going to run you through some test
Is
scenarios,
this
and you'll tell me
a
whether or not
bucket?
the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Oh.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes, this is a bucket.
Incorrect.
What?
It is a hologram of a bucket, not
Oh,
an
no!
actual bucket.
I was wrong. How could I have been so wrong?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Bucket? That? No.
Correct.
Hey!
3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I knew it.
Item 3.
Oh,
Is this a
classic
bucket?
bucket. Pure bucket. Definitely a bucket.
Correct.
Yeah!
This is a bucket.
I'm so good at this. Oh,
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
absolutely a bucket. Absolutely a bucket. What?
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an
Oh.
enormous machine that tills the earth.
okay, yeah,
I
no,
think this
now
is a
that-
gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up?
Now you say
Absolutely
it.
Incredible.
Okay, now you
Let's
say
just
it. It
move
feels
on to the next
obvious. Okay, it was a bit embarrassing, but I think we can do this.
Is this a bucket?
Yeah, absolutely, it's a bucket.
Correct.
Knew it!
This is a bucket.
Fucking
Item
name
6.
this.
Is this
That?
a bucket?
No, absolutely not.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Okay, no, fair enough. That you did get me in that one.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see.
What?
It should be around here somewhere.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's nothing here. Of
I'm pretty
course
good
it
at
isn't
this.
a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket,
Wait,
that makes it
hang on.
sound like I'm saying everything is
Yeah,
a
it
bucket,
does
which
make
of course
sense,
is not
yeah.
true.
Isn't it?
Is that what you think?
I
Answer me
mean-
straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Not everything. Just a lot of stuff.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
I mean, maybe.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
You better not. I can't believe this.
What happened? Is everything gone?
Because
How did
everything's a
everything
bucket.
disappear? Wait, was
Everything's a
everything
bucket. It's all a
Every
bucket,
single thing in
mate.
the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here.
Oh.
You're not a bucket either.
Well, thank you.
Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll
Okay.
put back all of the buckets, okay? And
Yeah,
we'll
alright.
know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's try... Ooh. Let's try backing out of the boss's office with the
The
bucket.
embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping in...
Now where do we go, old friend? We have freedom. We can go where we like. We go down here, maybe? No, this door is closed to us. It's quiet. it actually just the same, but I'm holding the bucket? So that'd be a bit disappointing, but sometimes you're just holding a bucket, I guess. Oh, one thing I like to upload these streams to YouTube, but unfortunately, this is a sort of a bit of a generalised call out for anyone who was watching the Prey streams, because I know some viewers like to download the files themselves, but February the 17th, the 9th Prey stream, I completely forgot to download until it was past the point where I was able to from Twitch, so I don't currently have that stream, which I need to upload to YouTube. So if anyone has a copy of the video of the stream on the 17th of February this year, could you drop Maddie a DM or get in touch? That would be real useful. Yeah, so it does seem to be just the same, but I have a bucket.
Your chat used appropriately, I suppose. Very good archivers.
Oh. Am I sending the bucket away? The bucket gets to escape. Well, okay, that's a bit tender of a caress maybe, but no, you know what? The bucket's earned it. Godspeed, bucket. Go on without me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket's gone. Did I actually?
Oh my god, you actually
I don't
sent the
know.
bucket away forever.
I don't know, maybe. Is it? Well, hang on, this is new. This is new.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile.
What?
At last, proof that he was human.
All right.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I want to check something.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yes. Let's try in here this time. Oh, somebody bought a Ko-fi no message. Well, thank you, whoever that was.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
Yeah, more cassette tapes.
What's
it say?
You didn't think I
Narrated
was actually
dialogue.
just a recording, did you?
Well,
What
no.
a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination,
actually that
you must
many movies.
absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the
All right,
phenomenal
all right,
and
jeez,
intricate
mate.
storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
Okay, mate.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Oh, is it? All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
I'm
mean?
running out
Stanley
of
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
a
he had simply
replacement
missed a
bucket.
memo.
Phew. I'm running out of endings to do, and I'm pretty sure someone mentioned, I think, that there was supposed to be this does feel different. There was supposed to be
When Stanley came
an
to a set of
epilogue
two open
after
doors, he entered the door on his left.
after you collect all the figurines, but I've kept going round and I've not seen it.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Because the thing is, this feels like the last Stanley Parable stream. I've done 3 of them, and I think I've seen a good, like I've seen the vast majority, and I feel like I've really, I might need to go to the start menu for quit to menu. Begin the game. Because I kind of want to see the epilogue if there is one, because then I'll feel like I've put a bow on the Stanley Parable.
This is the story
doesn't
of a man
feel
named Stanley.
like there's enough to warrant another stream.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Oh, I have to
This is what
close and
employee
open the
427
game
did.
a few more times. Okay. Alright, let's give it a shot. Quit to desktop. Okay. Play. Now the question is how I will know when ooh, till the computer is barely visible. No, I want to see the computer. Oh, dog and cat friends. Yeah. Oh no, that's love. That's not friendship. That's friendship.
Friendship can be loving.
That's true. Oh,
You're just
wait,
in
hang
bucket
on.
mode.
Hang on. Okay, this is 9, or 9. You know what? Let's be old school. Will do. Oh. Occubuncle or Scromtush? Sash, which of these is most appealing to me? Occuboinkle or Scromtush?
Oh, that's a really hard question.
Mm.
I think it depends on what mood you're in.
I think I'm in a Scromtush
I
mood,
think, yeah.
but not by much. Yes. No? Yes. Yes. Okay. No. Probably not. Sorry.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm going to go until... Yeah, okay, this seems... Again, this seems normal, so I'm gonna try booting it up. Gonna try booting it up 2 more times, and then we will call it. I feel I want this epilogue, mate. I want... Oh, Ath, although if you need to head off, I know you're here alone at the moment, so if you'd rather we quit and I just, do the epilogue at the start of the next stream, that would be absolutely fine.
That would be epilogue.
Oh, Nicole Goodnight subscribed at tier 1. Hey, Nicole, thanks for that. We've been raided by Eldritch Zoe. Hi, radiant dashing, but I enjoyed the Slay the Princess demo a lot. Oh, thank you. That's really lovely. I really enjoyed recording for it. Does anyone truly know? I do. I'm looking at it. It's on my phone. It's 9:58 p.m. BST. Yeah, I don't actually know who you are. Are you the game? Are you the narrator? Oh, okay. Yeah, no. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your passions? Well, it's not over. Surely we can still adjust things. No, there's loads more data on me. Well, okay. I mean, I'd like to, maybe. No, it's on my phone, actually. Oh, okay, well, that's... I mean, I did notice that the clocks in the building didn't actually match it, so... Okay, that is okay. I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, well, I do, but also I am performing this for, quite a few people. Wow. Okay. Fine. Goodbye. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm if I can find you. Okay. Well. There it is. The epilogue. Is the setting isn't bumpscosity, is it? Because we've already set that.
It's maximum.
Well, no, actually, we've been cruising at 76 most of the time.
Oh, really?
We put it on 1,000. We did put it on 1,000, but that was.
You did maximum. You did maximum. What's its size?
Yeah, no, we do have the maximum invisible plasma rifle reticle.
Yeah.
Oh, Kofi from Tinasaur. Hi everyone, just wanted to share some great news. The biggest Polish charity, the Orchestra of Christmas Charity, just raised over €53 million worldwide, which will all be used to fight sepsis. It's our record. I'm very happy and I wish everyone a good time. Well, that's wonderful.
Really good.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Oh, many, many years later. Oh, hello. I'm in that wasteland. I'm in that wasteland from the new content when there was that skip button that the narrator installed and it all went horribly wrong. Is there anything I can see on the horizon? No. Oh. Just warm myself by the fire. Remember when we had to stop that baby from burning? That was weird.
Oh, that cracked me up.
The music in this game is great. Oh, sandstorm! Shoot! Where's my chairs? Someone protect my chairs! Oh. Wouldn't be in this situation if I just stayed in the office. Go this way. Head towards the sun. That's what they say. In any situation where you don't know where you are, just head directly towards the sun. Oh, hello. I know this place. This is the memory zone. Oh, but what's that in the distance there? What are you? You look like a bookcase from the boss's office, maybe? It's the escape pod! It's the escape pod. Is my bucket in there? Is my bucket? My bucket! Together again at last.
Inflection was not dissimilar to Gollum's inflection.
My
Says my
bucket.
precious.
My bucket. Oh. It's alright. It's spooky, yes, but I have my bucket.
I genuinely feel quite emotional about you getting your bucket back.
Yeah, it's quite touching. Wish I had a torch like in Prey. Oh, hello, is that? What's this? What's this? Cookie Nine's blog. Review the Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teemed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expand on what made the original game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for, an infinitely deep hole. Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve from. So what do we got? Recent comments, review. Sorry, I haven't been blogging too much. Review SNRAF 3. I don't know what that is. But what is SNRAF? Some number of returns of Freddy's. Oh, buckets. Oh, Jim buttons. Jim. Ah. Oh, you remember when we were Jim chat? God, I liked being Jim. Stanley Parable developers, no more spin-offs, no more sequels. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise, but a disastrous critical and commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release they published today. It is clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want, reads the press statement. We thought we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not be farther from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. Well, that's a bit of a shame. Still, there's that button that calls you Jim.
Jim.
Lots of buttons that call you Jim, actually. More figurines. Look at them all. It's more than 6. 18 out of 6. 19 out of 6. Oh, 20 out of 6. It's the hole. It's the infinitely deep hole. Oh, hello. We're back in the office. Chat, we're back in the office. Hello again! From the boot up screen. Yes! It's nice to see you two. But it's terrible to learn that there will never again be another Stanley Parable game. It's not terrible, it's a good game. But, you know. Oh, yeah, okay, no, fair enough. I mean, that's true. Yeah, alright. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm down, actually. Yeah, it was. Okay, yeah, let's make the Stanley Parable 3. Yeah, okay. The Stanley Parable 3. Deadly Skeleton. Gun. No. Oh, I see. Deadly. No, Hidden Skeleton. Hidden Skeleton. Nice. Ha! Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, it does sound like work, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do. Let's do it! What? Oh, yeah, of course. It is... Oh, goodness. It is 9 past 10 p.m. It is time to finish. Oh. The Stanley Parable 3 Hidden Skeleton. Oh, look at that, guys! It's going. That's... Nice. Well, on that, I think that's probably it for our journey through Epilogue Guide suggests trying to press all the buttons. Wow. So I think that's I'm probably going to call it there for Stanley Parable 3 Hidden Skeleton. It's been an absolute joy. Oh, the gym buttons, one of them says Stanley. Oh, that's nice. I missed that. That's a shame. But, yes, wonderful. I've had a great time revisiting the Stanley Parable, and Ultra Deluxe has added... Well, it's added a bucket, which shouldn't revolutionise the whole game, but somehow it does. Next week, I am going to be... I'm going to be starting up. Resident Evil 4, the remake. I will get to Dead Space, I promise, but Resident Evil is unfortunately a series stapled to my soul, and they have remade Resident Evil 4, so you get to watch me have a bad time, because that village sequence is gonna stress me out so badly. It's gonna stress me out so badly. But that is just how it is. So thank you all for joining. Hang on. The bucket is driving that car. So that's something. That's cool. Sorry, I'm just looking at chat. Kate B, no, Resident Evil 4. So, Resident Evil 4 is the one in the rural Spanish village. You're thinking of Resident Evil 5, which is the one that's set in Africa. And yeah, Resident Evil 5 is one I would be very hesitant of streaming. But Resident Evil 4, like, it's, from what I remember, it's got a couple of, like, slightly moments, like most Resident Evil games, because they're not always in the best taste, but it's not, I don't have any particular reservations about streaming it. But thank you all so much for joining me for the Stanley Parable 3 Hidden Skeleton, and thank you especially to Ath for modding this whole stream on their own. If you're enjoying this, if you have enjoyed this, if you're watching this on the VOD, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube 40 years in the future and I am long dead, you can still drop a Ko-fi at kofi.com/Johnny and Sasha, because who knows? Maybe one of the mods would have made it, or Sash might still be around, and whoever survivors will probably get the Ko-fis. I can't make any firm legal commitment to that because it's 40 years in the future. Who knows what the legal code will be? Perhaps it'll be whoever wins a fight with sharpened hubcaps that gets to claim the Ko-fis. But the point is, they are all valued and they are all wonderful. Thank you. So thank you all for joining me, and join me and Sash on Sunday for the MacGuffin stream. I don't actually know what we're playing yet, but we'll be playing something. So thank you all, and as we say at the end of every stream, goodbye, Bucket.